we started.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it all started with PWSA to begin with.
Yeah, the Facebook groups.
Right?
The Facebook group, and I think it started with, well, mine started with my new member post to the birth to 3, and then it was kind of funny looking back through the comments. You know, I saw Jen, you know, and you're like, yeah, Josephine's, you know, 7 months old, and then I saw Amanda and I saw Libby, and like we were all commenting, and I'm like, I didn't know you guys back then, and now here we are, you know. And then it turned to what came to be for me, I must do the achievement every Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt a,
Let's do
not
something.
only, yeah, not only, I don't know. I kind of felt like I needed to do that, not only for Rose, but for myself. And from there is when, you know, Libby chimed in with her twinnie Mabel.
Oh.
And then here comes Amanda and Saoirse.
I'm like, be my friend, I'm lonely.
I think, wasn't it? Because we were all craving the same thing, really.
Yeah.
Just we were all looking for people who were, so we weren't alone. We were all looking for people who were.
And I think we say that all the time, like people who get it, like people who were like us, because we were so lonely, and we were 6, 7 months out from birth, you know, 3, 4, 5 months out from diagnosis. And I think we were all just like kind of floundering, like for a direction and not sure what to do. And, you know, you want that, you want to see what other people are doing and be nosy and make sure you're doing what you can do. But then you also, that connection, I think, I don't know, I was needing that really bad. And
when
so it was like,
you guys join the PWSA Facebook group? Like how soon after diagnosis did you join? Josephine got diagnosed December 28th and we joined January 1st.
Wow, that's fast.
were we supposed to
like
know
a month, maybe?
Yeah, is this a test?
No, you were mentioning timelines, and I was just wondering, like, because some people take a while.
Did you research that, or did you just
I know.
No, because it was New Year's Day, I remember. It was just New Year's. And diagnosis day, everybody remembers, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't too far when we were going back through those posts, Susan. That was like, you know, in the June, and our babies were born in the April. So they were probably a couple months old.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say probably about a month after diagnosis, within the month. I might have been creeping for a bit, but not necessarily posting.
Yeah, I think it was right at a month or so.
Yeah.
And then probably like a few weeks later was when Libby, Amanda, and I kind of
worked out that we were in the same week. They were saying,
all within a few days.
Yep.
And then, you know, Noelle and Erica, the girls are on the same day. So then, we sort of.
We didn't have our diagnosis until exactly 4 weeks. So I'm sure that I didn't join the group until probably closer to 2 months. And then I think we didn't find out that Rosie and Dami had the same birthdays until like we were already tight. Like I think it was probably closer to their birthday that we're like, no way.
Yeah.
But they were turning 1.
I remember that combo.
Yeah.
How about you, Krista? When did you pop into the
I joined the group pretty early on. And I just really like seeing I think I introduced pretty early on. But I really, really enjoyed, I mean, in the lost state that I was in after diagnosis, I enjoyed all of the comments of people welcoming us and all the different ages and just seeing how great the kids were. It gave me a lot of hope to see the community and see just the amazing welcome.
That first like introduction post and all the comments on it were like the first, what do you call those? Like the buoy, like the little, you know, lifesaver gets thrown to you. I was
finding people to do that. If I'm adding people to the group, I'm like, please introduce yourself, because you'll get lots and lots of, you know, smiley, happy kids. Which was nice.
Well,
I was expecting that. I was expecting really I don't know, the picture I had in my head, I suppose, which what
like when you Google what it looks like. Yeah.
I was a bit terrified to think.
Yeah.
But then when you see the kids that you see, you're like, okay, this is maybe okay.
Yeah, and parents that are like, you're in a dark place right now, it'll get better. Just hearing that over and over again from so many people was so welcoming. I think I got on the bandwagon early just because of Christy, because she's my parent mentor, and she got me in. She was like, you need to join if you can, here it is, and got me started really quickly. So I think that was my connection. And like,
well, I think it's cool too, because there's so many people, even though it's so rare, it just seems like it comes in these waves. Like we've talked about this before, how it's like all of a sudden there's like 30 new babies from all over the world. And I just think it's really cool that we all kind of found each other and we connected so well. Because I mean, there are, yes, it's rare, but there's a lot of people in those groups and it can get a little overwhelming sometimes, like, oh my gosh, all these babies. But then we all kind of sought each other out. And I think it's really cool that we've, you know, not only connected at that time, but it's been 3 years now and we talk every day, you know. So I just think that's really neat.
There's that one like find your tribe, and I think that applies to all women in general, or I mean, I'm sure men too, but more so women. But I think in this new world that we're all a part of, finding your tribe is really important. And then what you just said about like the wave, so it's almost like we found our tribe within our wave. And and it's, you know, it definitely is a lifesaver. There's so many times that, you know, in the beginning, I think it was all about the kids. And then really soon after, it became even more so about us rather than just the fact that we had kids with the same diagnosis. And I feel like I really, really am very grateful for that.
I think since we talk every day, we've just gone through so many things in life together that it's just
and it's not just about our kiddos with our, you know, with PWS. We know everybody, you know, all of the other babies and all the other kids, and we celebrate all the new ones and, you know, all their birthdays and all their life things. And yeah, it initially, like you said, started with PWS and now it's just like our lives.
It's like we've known each other for so long, and it's, you know, it's only been 3 years, and, you know, I can honestly say that the first year, and all the years kind of seem like they go kind of slowly, but it's been 3 years of every day, guys. It's crazy to think about, and I am so grateful for you guys, because I'm not a person with a ton of friends, but every friend basically dropped off the planet when this came about. And we were swimming and we were flailing over here as our own little family. And to have you guys now as my friends and as my family means everything in the world to me. And I don't think for 1 second that I could be where I am, or that I could have gotten through that first year, the second year, the third year without you guys. You're to come, because it's just ever changing, you know, ever changing life of PWS. You know, something will always come up and we will always be going through it together. And I think that's the incredible bond that I want to hold on to for as long as we live.
I think we also go through the triumphs together. We go through the upsides together too. Like we've gone through some big downsides together, but we know the victories in a deeper way than any of our friends or family can really understand, right? I mean, with the exception of Erica, who has friends and family who really understand. But we do have that like get it factor that the rest of our friends and family try as they may, and thank goodness they do for many of us. Like I'm so appreciative of them, but it's so nice to tell you guys when Josephine does something new, or that, you know, we've been waiting for a long time for her to do, because you guys know all the work that goes into that and and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, you're like most people to tell.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's like 8 times a day that I'm hanging out with friends or family or whatever, and I'm like, okay, these people don't get it. I need to message my PWS moms because these people are just like, clearly I'm going to make a mental note of this and then talk to my girls later. So, and I can't imagine not having that to fall back on for the last 3 years. I mean, every day you get to hear it all.
Also, like, it's a safe space. Like, whenever somebody has gone through anything or we're having a downtime, we're allowed to feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super important.
Yeah. Definitely.
One of the really cool things is, especially, you know, like, you can sit on the bigger boards, and it's always amazing to celebrate any of these kids, because like you were saying, we understand what goes into getting these kids to hit each milestone. To celebrate that is like nothing else you celebrate with your other kids. It's just not. But once we've become so close and we've watched each other's kids grow up, like seeing them do it, like you feel the same excitement. Well, I do. Maybe you guys don't, but I have the same excitement seeing your kids do every little thing. You know, like I remember, you know, because Josephine's a little older, and she just has always been so vocal and so like just booming in her language, and it's just always, I'm always in awe of that, you know, or how strong Mabel is in hitting, you know, jumps, or, you know, just the other day, Saoirse stepped down the curb, and we're just like, yeah.
We're all like, yes.
It's always something, and I feel like it's my kids doing that. Like, I remember the one video you made for Josephine's birthday. I'm like, I'm not in any of those pictures, and I'm there for all of it. I don't know why, because we're not together, but we're together, and it's such a different experience than you have with your regular everyday friends and family that you're in contact with. It's a very different experience, and it's unique.
It is very unique.
I think a big thing for all of us was meeting in person at the conference.
Yeah.
Like just being able to have a face and a connection.
I think I cried that entire weekend. I was so happy to be with people. Like, just that first 5-6 months was so hard. It was so hard. And once I got you guys, it was like a release. I'm like, I remember Libby and I stayed up until like 4 in the morning in the hotel room. Poor Mabel and Saoirse were laying on the floor, and we're just like the entire night because we didn't want to leave each other, you know. And that's how I felt every time we all got together for a session. And I'm like, where's everybody going? I'll follow you. Like, don't leave. I felt like I waited so long to be with you guys, and it was amazing.
So, weird that it was like we had always been friends, though, too, even though it was sort of semi-awkward because we didn't really know, I only knew you via Facebook, really. And in those early days, and then it was like, oh, okay, this is who you are. And but then it was like after that weekend, I think it was just like we'd been together forever, really.
Well, and that was when our little tribe grew, and it was you know, awesome to meet new people, and having those people just in person.
Well, I think that was when we decided that we needed that weekend away together, and you know, we were planning the mums weekend, and then other people found out about it and they wanted to come because I think they had the same feelings that they actually needed what we had as well. So we opened it up, and our little group of 7 grew. I don't actually even know how many is on that little group now. But
I think 12 came on the trip. I'm not sure about the other group.
Like 20, aren't there like 20?
Yeah, probably.
So, but it's been wonderful too, because then you just more people with them, or their experiences, I guess, and it only just grows.
I think we gelled at the conference because we just went for it. Like we were all very like open and honest with each other, and like, look, this is what's happening with me right now. Like Crista and I skipped the session after our global assessment. We're like, we need to decompress. Here's all the crap that's going on. Like it was, and you know, like I had very open-hearted conversations with each of you. I
think we went to lunch and cried.
Yeah, that is. Yep, we cried in our sweet potato fries at the bar. But I think, and that's, I think what keeps the, you know, the expanding group so functional too, is that we're there for all of it. And like, everybody's pretty open and honest with where they're at and what they're going through. And like, there's no sunshining people, you know, like if you're having a bad day, people are like that. Yeah, I've been there. And I know what it feels like. It's not, oh, you'll get over it. Everything will be fine. It's, no, things just
but it's also not sometimes just I think it helps people's perspective sometimes when you're off on your little oh my gosh, my anxiety is going crazy, and then it's okay, I can see it from your point of view, and maybe I just need to turn it down a little bit and not get so emotional about that.
That never happens. Who does that?
I think I straight up say, please talk me off the ledge.
I'll like fire off 10 messages in a row, and then I go back and read them. I'm like, sorry. Sorry, everyone.
And I think it's helpful too when you're trying, well, I guess with some of us who have older kids, when, you know, to go, what's the typical kid? Like, oh yeah, like, you know, they all do that, or this is what my kid did at this age. You know, then you're like, okay, well, maybe I don't need to be getting too upset about that just yet.
Well, that's cool because we're literally from all over the world. Like, just, you know, and different, I mean, different religions, different backgrounds, different, you know, children order, different ages, different everything, like everything you could think of. We have this amazing variety of backgrounds of people. And so we're all coming at it from different places, but we're able to, I don't know, connect, which is just kind of amazing. I don't really know how it happened. I feel like it's rare.
I think the turning point though was the conference for sure.
Yeah.
We weren't even going to go. And then thanks to PWSA, we were able to go. And
we got our scholarship too.
Yeah. I think if we hadn't gone, I don't know where our particular family would be, but
I didn't want to miss out.
Yeah,
I know. I think we all kind of just made it a non-negotiable. We're like, this is happening.
Yep.
You know, figure it out.
Conversation that we had, I think Susan, Amanda, I think Erica, you were already going to go because your mom was going, I think. And then so we were like, I remember having that conversation. We were like, we have to get on this, like, and we have to book today. Pretty much quickly booked.
I know. I told Brian, I was like, hey, there's people going. We have to go to. Like, whatever we have to do, I'm going. So.
Yeah, we did the same thing. Dan was like, you really want to go to this? Because, you know, as we, you know, baby diagnosis situation, like, it seemed very overwhelming. He's like, are you going to be okay? And I'm like, probably not, but I want to see my friends. So it's going to happen.
Yeah. I didn't think it was even possible because, I mean, with Sadie, I didn't know that was an added component of, well, I can't have Sadie. I can't take Sadie. I can't take both of the twins. And what does that look like? Leaving her for a weekend. And I was pumping for her too. So, you know, I had to leave her milk. And so I just kind of written it off. And then at the last minute, they contacted me and was like, are you sure? I was like, well, no, I'd love to go. And then she's like, well, how about, you know, they really made a way for me to be able to go. And at the last second, we had made plans and it was just James and I that went. And so I think I just went into it like really, really open and just, this is what I'm here for. I need to take advantage of every minute. And I can't looking back, I'm like, man, if I would have missed out, I would have missed out on so much.
It was huge. I remember like people asking me like, how was it when I got back? And like transformative was the word that came to mind. I'm like, it was life-changing. It was life-changing. And the sessions were good. Like I remember, you know, Janice's session and of course Dr. Miller's session, especially, and Hannah Miller's like nutrition session, especially. And the global assessment was super awesome, but it was you guys. It was it was the bonding that happened poolside and like in the lobby, in the front lobby. And those were the things that really like stuck with me.
Erica, how was it for you? Because you already had.
Yeah. Honestly, I had plans to go. I mean, the second she was born, I knew I was going to go to conference because Becca and my mom had already gone the year or maybe 2 years before that with Natalie. And Becca had the same experience as us. She met her group of people at conference. So it was like when I got diagnosis, I mean, I knew the first chance I could get, I was going to go. So for me, it was like a split. Like I just knew that I was going. And thankfully, I think our Michigan chapter, I got the grant through them. So they kind of helped us get there. But yeah.
That's pretty amazing. I didn't realize how many of us went on scholarships or partial grants or whatever. I didn't realize that. That's kind of cool. So like PWSA literally brought us together, and more than just the convention and more than just the Facebook groups, but then also that.
Yeah. Because it is a big financial burden. Like when you go through all the diagnosis things and then you think, oh my word, these are all the extra things I might have to pay for. How can I afford a conference? And it's just nice to not have to worry about it if you don't have to. But yeah, that was made the decision easier. But yeah, starting off when you're, feeding schedules and in the early months when you're freaking out and wondering if you're doing everything the right way. And it's just crazy to see how far all of our kids have grown. Like we've watched all of our kids grow up together, even though they don't see each other. See other people's kids. But yeah, I just think it's such a special bond that we all have. And I hope that our kids can meet again someday too, and also keep a little bond between them, because right now they're all so little. But yeah, I'm just so grateful for the PWSA and meeting you guys. And I think life would be very different if we didn't meet.
This kind of shows how powerful having a united diagnosis like that is. Like how deep that runs, and you can kind of push aside all your other stuff if there's differences or whatever. It doesn't really matter because you share this like core thing that just has become a huge part of your life that, you weren't planning on, you weren't intending, and then all of a sudden it's there. And it's amazing how strong that is.
Well, we all went through the dark part of the tunnel together.
Yeah.
And together, like so many people go through that alone, and maybe they come out the other side, and get to that point that we've all gotten to where we're like, oh, okay, like I get this. And I'm, like we've reflected on how like one of the things that we regret, many of us, is how stressed we were in those early days, and that we wish we could go back and tell that earlier self that did not stress so much, that it's going to be okay. But gosh, what a blessing to go through it with you guys, with people who get it. And that is, I mean, how can you not bond if you're really there with each other through that? Sorry, you guys are stuck with me.
I think it's, for me, that's been beneficial that we can just, I guess it's debriefing with people who understand. And, processing it. And some things take long to process, I think. Like, I think we were all pretty similar that first year. It took us really a year to process those, that diagnosis. And we went round and around and around, continuously, pretty much saying just the same things. But I think we all sort of reached that time, very similar time as well. Yeah. And occasionally we flip back there, but that's where it's good, because then you can have those moments and not feel like, if you're trying to do that with your other friends who don't get it, maybe they're just thinking, oh, here she goes again, whereas I think you guys, you can go through those ups and downs without being judged, so to speak.
And we have the history, right? And we know we don't have to, you don't have to explain everything again.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
that's
think
right.
because of our bonds, though, that it gives the siblings some connection as well. Like Erica, when our girls got together, it was like they were just instant. Which I mean, kids at that age are anyway, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be really important for the future. And I really hope we're able, as time goes on, because most of our kids are still very young. So I'm hopeful for the future that our siblings will maybe be able to create some relationships from this. I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just really glad for you guys. And I see this going for forever. I don't see it ending. I just think that, you know, this is going to be a lifelong friendship, no matter what's going on with, you know, PWS. Because it's, like I said, it's always gonna be there. We're always gonna have things to talk about. Our families are still always gonna be connected beyond PWS. And you know, I can't even say how grateful I am for this group in particular.
I can't wait.
And what I feel like we've gone through and can share.
Yeah. I can't wait for the day when our PWS kiddos are like teenagers and they're talking to each other on the phone.
Oh God, I can totally wait. I can wait for that. I'm not ready for
that too.
Oh my God, no. I am not ready for that. No, I was actually just thinking it's been 3 years. I'm like, we should do this again in 3 years from now. You know, and we can talk about how far we've come. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the future is so much brighter than I thought it was going to be. Like based on what I know now at 3, I feel, and all the research that's going on and everything, I just feel so much better about our kids' future than I did at, I don't know, diagnosis time, obviously, but even in that first year and second year, I don't know. I feel very hopeful for our little cohort.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be easy by any means, but I definitely have hope that we'll be able to handle it. So.
And the good thing is the times that when it gets hard, we have each other.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to get mushy and I'm going to say, I love you guys.
I love you guys.